The river that demands blood. America, circa 1151 AD. The Mississippi did not whisper that night. It roared. Io awoke choking on river water, his lungs burning as if fire ants had been poured inside him. His fingers clawed mud and reeds while the current tried to pull him back into the dark throat of the river where his father had vanished months before. When he finally dragged himself onto the bank, vomiting and shaking, he did not cry. Tears were for boys who still believed the world was gentle. Cahokia, city of earth and bone. Cahokia rose from the plains like a wound that refused to heal. Massive earthen mounds shaped by tens of thousands of hands, layered with generations of sweat, blood, and buried children. At dawn, smoke from cook fires thickened the air. Dogs howled, drums beat slow and low from the temple mound, calling the sun to rise exactly where the priests demanded it rise. Io stood among the men and boys of the River Guild, his father's knife heavy at his waist. Tarek taught him everything: how to read water the way others read faces, how to hear storms before clouds formed, how to know when the river wanted payment. But no lesson had saved Tarek when fever twisted his body and dragged him into death. They burned his canoe. They did not burn his grief. The disappearances. Canoes stopped returning. First one, then three, then an entire trading party, 6 men and a boy, gone, without bodies, without tools, without sound. The elders said nothing publicly, but everyone knew. Someone downriver was hunting humans. At night, Io heard mothers whisper prayers into their children's hair. Warriors sharpened blades until sparks leapt like angry spirits. Priests sacrificed dogs and birds, searching for meaning in steaming entrails. Still, no answers came, until the river demanded a messenger. Chosen by silence. When the high priest asked for a volunteer to travel alone beyond the southern bends, men avoided each other's eyes. Io stepped forward, not for honor, not for courage, but because death had already followed him home, and he was tired of running. The priest tied a river shell charm around his neck, his father's final carving. "Do not fight what you do not understand," the priest warned. The river kills those who confuse pride for strength. Descent into the wild. By the 3rd day, hunger gnawed like a living thing inside Io's stomach. By the 5th, his hands bled from paddling. The forest thickened, the air turned wet and rotten. Mosquitoes fed until his skin swelled and burned. Once, he woke to the sound of something sniffing his face, yellow eyes retreating into darkness. He crossed burial grounds where bones surfaced through eroded soil. He passed trees marked with warning signs, carved by hands long dead. Then the river went silent. No birds, no insects, no wind. That was when the arrows came. Captured. Pain exploded through his shoulder as he fell into the water. Hands dragged him out. Rough voices shouted in a language close enough to understand, but twisted with bitterness. They beat him until his vision fractured. When he woke, his wrists were bound with rawhide. His head throbbed. Blood crusted his face. He expected torture. Instead, he found starvation. Children with hollow eyes stared at him. Women scraped empty pots. Men